Hey everyone, this is William from the Headphone Experience, and I'm here tonight to try to answer the question, is there a perfect headphone? This isn't a review, it's just I want to give you some thoughts and ideas that I've had. And as most of you probably know, I'm the administrator of the Headphone Experience on Facebook, and as far as I know, we are currently the third largest English-speaking headphone group on Facebook at 3,800 and I believe 52 members. Anyway, the one thing I've learned in the 14 months since I started the Facebook group is that if you make a post about any certain headphone, and if you come out with a claim that this is the best headphone, or it's better than anything else at its price, you will always, 100% guaranteed, always get an argument from someone. No matter what headphone you like, no matter what headphone you think is the best, there's going to be someone that is going to argue with you. They're going to not like it. They may even hate it. And that just comes down to personal preference. It doesn't mean one headphone is better than another. It just means that it's subjective and everybody has their own opinion about it. So the conclusion I've come to is there is no one headphone that can do everything. There is no such thing as a perfect headphone. You may find a headphone that is perfect for you, but it will not be perfect for everybody. So anyway, the reason for this is there's so many different types of headphones, besides from being so many different brands, manufacturers, and they're all built to serve different purposes, and they have different qualities and different strengths and different weaknesses. Just like with a car, a sports car and a pickup truck are built for two different things. A pickup truck isn't going to keep up with a sports car on the highway, but a sports car isn't going to pull a trailer or haul a load of firewood, or it's going to be useless in the mud or the snow. So every vehicle is made for a different purpose, and headphones are the same way. So basically, first I want to talk about the four basic types of headphones. First of all, you have your full-size over-the-ear headphones that completely surround the ear, and if they're closed, they're going to seal out some outside noise, but I'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, you've got your full-size over-the-ear headphones. You've got your on-the-ear headphones that rest on top of the ear. You've got your earbuds that basically sit in the ear but are not inserted into the ear canal. And then you have IEMs, which means inner ear monitor, which are actually fit into the ear canals and usually seal tight, which keeps out quite a bit of outside sound. Then with your basic headphones, either your over-the-ear or your on-the-ear types, you have two different types of those. You have open or closed back. An example of a closed back headphone would be the Meza 99 Classic, which you have an enclosed ear cup that creates passive noise cancellation, it seals around the ear and blocks out some of your outside noise. And then you have your open back headphones, as this is the Hi-Fi Man Sundara, which has a grill type back to it, which not only lets outside noise in, but it also lets the sound of the music out of the headphone. In addition to these, well, only with the closed back, there are what's called ANC, or active noise canceling headphones, which in addition to the passive noise cancellation, they have active noise cancellation, which is basically a microphone and built-in amplifier, which creates a opposite sound wave of what it's trying to block. It picks up the outside noise with a microphone and then creates a 180 degree out of phase identical sound, which cancels out the outside noise. Okay, then you also have a choice of a wired or wireless headphones. A wired headphone obviously has a cable that connects directly from the headphone to your headphone amp. Wireless uses a Bluetooth signal, and as far as I know, the reputation of Bluetooth has been that it does degrade the sound some. So most audiophiles that are looking for the ultimate sound quality are not interested in Bluetooth, but I think there has been advances in it lately in the technology, and it is improving, and from what I hear is getting pretty close to the quality of wireless. Okay, then we have the driver type. There's basically 3 different driver types in a headphone. You've got your dynamic driver, which is similar to a speaker driver in your bookshelf or floor standing speakers. It's basically a round cone of different materials that moves in and out. Then you have your planar magnetic drivers, which is a sheet of thin sheet of like a, not really a plastic, it's like a film with usually aluminum etchings on it, which a current runs through, and then it has magnets either on both sides or one side, and it causes it to vibrate and create the sound. And then you have your electrostatic headphones, which do require a special high voltage amplifier to run. Then another issue with headphones is your efficiency. Some headphones are very easy to drive. Some headphones are extremely hard to drive and almost take a speaker amp to drive them. So the efficiency of a headphone is going to determine what type of amp you need to run them on. A highly efficient headphone, normally IEMs or earbuds are usually efficient enough that you can use a portable device. Even some full-size headphones are very efficient. These Meza 99 Classics, very efficient and can be run off of just about any amp, probably any portable amp. Where other headphones, the Sindaras, are a lot harder to drive, and there's probably a few portable amps out there that'll do a pretty good job. But you're probably going to be better off with a desktop amp with something like that. And then the hardest headphone to drive I have is the Hi-Fi-Man HE560, and I wouldn't recommend that at all for a portable amp. It takes actually a pretty powerful desktop amp to make them sound good. So that's a factor you have to consider in when choosing your headphone, is how efficient they are and what kind of amp you intend on driving them with. Another big issue is weight and comfort. Some headphones, like that, once again, the Meza, very light, very comfortable in my opinion. Some headphones, like the older Hi-Fi-Man HE500, are 2.5 times the weight and pretty heavy, but that again is subjective. It depends on the person. Some people absolutely hate heavy headphones and wouldn't own one. That was a problem with the Hi-Fi-Man HE500. A lot of people really liked the sound of it, but some people just didn't like the weight and thought it was uncomfortable. So it was never all that popular, and that's why Hi-Fi-Man came out with the HE560 and the Sindara, which are quite a bit lighter. Myself, the weight of a headphone really isn't an issue to me. Heavy headphones don't bother me. I don't use them with a portable device. I use them, sitting in a chair, relaxing, and the weight isn't really an issue. Then another factor to figure in when you're choosing a headphone is portability. Are you intending on using it with a portable device and, using it walking down the streets? You gonna wear it at work? You gonna do whatever? Or are you just gonna sit in a big cushy chair and plug it into a desktop amp and listen to it that way? So that's another factor in choosing your the headphone and finding the perfect headphone for you. As far as sound, Probably the most important factor when choosing a headphone and finding the right headphone for you is tone balance. And that, again, is something that really divides people on a headphone. One person might be looking for the most accurate headphone they can find with the flattest tone balance, and another person might want a U-shaped tone balance and more bass or maybe even more treble. There's some very popular headphones that have a very flat tone balance that a lot of people just don't like them because they think they don't have enough bass. We sometimes refer to these people as bass heads that insist on a headphone having a lot of bass, and that's fine. That's personal preference. You know, no one should buy a headphone because it's so-called accurate or because people say this is the best headphone. You should buy the headphone that you want, that you like. If you want a lot of bass, then find a headphone with a lot of bass, because there's a huge difference from one headphone to another. Going back to the headphones I was showing you, the Meza 99 has quite a bit of punch to the bass. It has a strong, solid bass to it, and one person might prefer that, where the Sandara is more of a flat tone balance, and some people just don't think it has enough bass, that it's a little thin sounding. So, like I said, personal preference again. A part of tone balance would be whether the headphone is bright or dark. Some people like a bright headphone with a lot of detail in the upper mid-range and treble. Other people find bright headphones to be fatiguing and hard to listen to for a long time. They might get your attention at first, but long-term listening, they just wear you out. They can really actually make your ears start hurting, but it depends on the person. Some people prefer a darker headphone with more energy in the bass and lower mid-range and not so much energy in the upper mid-range and treble. You sacrifice a little bit of detail in the higher frequencies with a headphone like that, but it is a lot easier to listen to for a long time. It's more relaxing and just a lot less fatiguing. It doesn't wear you out the way a bright headphone can. So some people like a headphone to be bright. I personally like them a little bit on the bright side, not a lot. I do like Hi-Fi Man headphones. Their tone balance, which some people think tends to be a little bright. Some people just don't like it. They want a darker tone balance and something more relaxing. As far as imaging and separation, imaging is the headphone's ability to pinpoint where different instruments are coming from. Separation, once again, is separating one instrument from another, where they sound like they're coming from different locations. And some headphones are really good at this, some headphones aren't so much. It just depends one headphone to another, and there's not really any way to tell until you listen to it how it's going to image. Soundstage is the headphone's ability to sound like it's coming from a larger area, not just coming from your ears. And typically, you know, real low price headphones are just going to sound like they're coming from both ears, where a better headphone, the soundstage gets bigger and music comes from further out. Actually, it can even be in layers, and the sound can come from in front of you. And there's also can be height to the soundstage, where sounds sound like they're coming from down low or even up high. And soundstage, you are typically, not always the case, and there are exceptions to just about everything I'm telling you tonight. Everything that I give you, my general opinion, there is going to be an exception to it. There are some unusual headphones out there that break all the rules. But anyway, typically a closed back headphone, which is going to give you isolation from outside noise and keep the sound in, is also, you're going to sacrifice a little bit of soundstage size. and depth, but once again, there are always exceptions to that. Some people find clarity and detail extremely important, and I think I'm one of those people. When I listen to music, I want to hear every little detail in it that I possibly can, and so clarity is very important to me, but it's also part of a headphone. If it's overly clear and overly detailed, once again, it can be a little bit fatiguing. So some people like, a little less sharpness to their music, a little smoother sound. So once again, another preference. Dynamic. Some headphones are real dynamic and punchy. Every sound, every, drum beat, every, piano key, every time a cymbal's hit is just going to jump out at you. And some headphones are a lot softer sounding, and once again, dynamic headphones are exciting and they can sound great at first, but sometimes that can be fatiguing, and some people prefer a headphone that's a little less dynamic and a little more laid back and easy going. And then the next thing that really becomes a factor is what type of music do you listen to? If you're listening to electronic, dance, house music, that sort of thing, you're probably going to want a headphone with a deep, solid bass to it, with a lot of energy in the bass. And headphones that are, more aimed at an audiophile crowd with a flat tone balance probably are going to sound boring and aren't going to appeal to you if that's the type of music you listen to. Then, you take something like classic rock that's kind of down the middle, and, a more dynamic headphone might work good for you. The drums are going to stand out a little more and all that. Classic music, most people want a pretty strong bass in it, but not, an excessive amount of bass. And, so pretty well balanced tone works pretty good with classic rock. Then when you get into, acoustical, orchestral, classical music like that, then, different factors come in and what's going to be a really good headphone. A headphone that might sound really good with dance music, electronic, might not be ideal for acoustical or orchestral music, where a headphone that doesn't have that bottom end bass slam to it might be ideal for acoustical, orchestral, that type of thing, that type of music, you're going to want something with a lot of clarity and detail that can, just bring out the small details of the music, and, something with good imaging and separation that's going to separate one instrument from another. So, like I said, depending on what type of music you listen to, one headphone might be great for one type of music, but not great for another type of, something else. So that's probably the reason that a lot of people have more than one headphone. Even though you're the only one using it, and you're the only one that, is determining what qualities you want, it's still, you might want to have more than one type of headphone depending on what type of music you're listening to that day. You might have one for electronic music. You may have another headphone that you listen to for orchestral music, or you might have one headphone that you listen to, with a portable device, and another headphone that you listen to at home sitting in a chair. So basically what it comes down to, and to answer the question of the video, is there a perfect headphone? I would say no. There's no perfect headphone that can do everything for everybody. There may be a headphone that's perfect for you, especially if you listen to primarily one type of music, and you might find a headphone that's absolutely perfect for your taste. but it might not be the ideal headphone for someone else. You might go on my headphone group and say, I found the perfect headphone. You know, this is ideal. I can't imagine anything sounding better. And you're going to have 10 people that are going to tell you, well, that headphone sucks. I don't like it. And they're going to give you their reasons or whatever. But it's that you really shouldn't worry about that. You need to find the headphone that makes you happy and not worry about the opinions of other people. I mean, what's this all about anyway? I mean, you know, a headphone is made for one person to listen to it. So it only needs to make one person happy. And if you're the one person that is happy with the sound of a headphone, no matter what other people think, that's the headphone for you. I mean, if you get a headphone, it may be the most popular headphone in the world. It might be the most popular headphone in the group of people you talk to about headphones, but if it doesn't sound right to you and it doesn't bring out the qualities in the music that make you happy, then it's not the right headphone for you. So I guess the whole point of this video is try as many headphones as you can. You know, go into stores, dealers, whatever, audition them. Find the headphone that makes you happy, and don't worry about the opinions of other people. If they don't like it, too bad. If you're happy, that's all that really matters. So anyway, I'm going to wrap this up. This is already too long. So once again, this is William from the Headphone Experience. If my video has helped you in any way, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I'd like to have you all join us over at the Headphone Experience on Facebook. Thank you.